Commander's log right here, 14th of October. Let me just get some light. Yeah, very interesting experience just now. So I actually, I was awake at quite early this morning, around 4 a.m., something like that. I set up a astral projection station right there. So the key, the key to astral projection is that you don't want to lie flat. In the case of this situation, you want to get all the pillows, enough pillows to make an inclination like that. So you got a good sort of, 25, 30 degree angle, so that you don't actually, doze off to sleep, so that you actually, you can kind of drift on the edge of awake consciousness and sleep. What happens at that point is, those you get down past the alpha brain waves, and then you start getting into theta, sleep. Well, no, excuse me, theta brain waves, and hopefully you astral project. But as you are kind of getting down there, I'm just telling you what happened. And this is kind of like a little personal thing. But yeah, this what happened to me, and I got some information, I got some intel while I was down there, I pretty much overheard a huge dialogue about me. This is how we're going to marginalize this guy. This is how we're going to teach him a lesson. This is how, like a whole kind of social crowd deciding this guy is, just messing with our group. We need to marginalize him. Blah blah blah. And it came just after I had basically maybe I should put my commander's hat on, be a little bit more commanderly. It was just after I basically threw out a little bit of a test balloon on a Facebook group, which I shall not name, but this is a Facebook group which is associated with, which is complementary to a internal arts, qigong meditation course that I'm doing, and people in there, they pose all sorts of questions, and you've got a lot of sort of people in there that are kind of respected in the group, that have been doing it for a long time, and everyone sort of listens to them, and every time they make a comment, everyone's like, yes, this is this person we respect, and we understand that this is all, we should respect this person. And a lot of the time it's just they're just doing it because that person has that kind of social status or whatever in the group. It's not necessarily because they're really that advanced. Of course, some of them are. A couple of the people in that group are actually quite advanced, and definitely it's good idea to take your advice and stuff. And regardless, just read what everyone says. When you ask a question in the group about, this is where I'm at with this meditation technique, or this is where I'm at with this qigong thing, and this is what I experienced, and this is how my progress is, and so you get comments, and people ask all sorts of philosophical existential questions about life, and so do I, and I usually try to ask the ones that are that other people would feel that they would not feel comfortable, would not feel at liberty, or maybe appropriate to ask. They would think that it's too much related to conspiracy, or all the sort of questions that the type of questions that people look at you funny for asking, but also the type of questions that be like, fucking hey, if I could find out the answer to that question, this would kind of help a lot. This would, you know. And so those are the type of questions that I would sort of pose in the group, and I do it in some sort of funny. I do it in some funny ways, like the recent one I did. When I'm saying I threw out sort of a test balloon just to see what sort of reactions I would sort of get, and yeah, I put a photo of myself in my whole, you know, BDU Black Ops gear, like in a meditation pose, and with my megaphone sort of under my left arm here, and I said, like, you know, I'm trying basically said, this is why I'm doing qigong, this is why I'm doing internal martial arts. I'm basically training to you know, get really good at qigong and you know, develop myself to a really high level, you know, develop some superpowers, you know, basically to get the attention of some black ops, and you know, perhaps, you know, hijack a TR-3B from Area 51, and like just being funny about it, but saying, look, I want to find out what the fuck is going on this planet, and yeah, this is the kind of thing that it's just so hard to get a straight fucking answer about this kind of thing, and everyone, of course, you know, is just saying, like, you know, oh, I might develop a psychological problem if I keep going along this. Well, actually, I made it funny. Like, I took the humility and said, is it possible that this could be actually a balanced, a good balanced thing for me to have this ambition, to have this reason for practicing, you know, to have this kind of conspiracy objective of practicing Neigong, going through the Neigong process, of practicing Tai Chi and meditation and things, because I want to develop myself really, really good to basically be on par with extraterrestrials, and to find out what's going on in the Black Ops in Area 51 and, you know, everything. And I said, oh, could that possibly be a good balanced thing somehow, me doing this that way, or am I headed for a mental ward, you know, or am I more likely to end up in a mental ward, you know, if I keep going in that direction? And of course, there were a lot of people that were able to sort of entertain a bit of humor in that in the comments, but most people were trying to say that, you know, this is not how you should practice internal martial arts. You shouldn't have this. You shouldn't think like this. This is good. It's not a good. You know, you're crazy, or, well, they had their very elaborate ways of saying, this is why I'm wrong. This is why. This is why I'm going to develop some psychological problem if I keep going on this way, and this and that. But it's very funny, because very, very few people could even just entertain some humor. And it was very clear that I was being humorous about it in some way. And I just kind of want to make the point that, like, there's so many posts that keep coming through on that feed in that group. People, like, just joking about all sorts of things in life, and I'm like, well, why can't I make a joke about this, you know? And people are like, well, you're obscuring your true nature, and you're not going to be able to gain liberation, and you know, connect with the Tao, and you're not going to this and that. And I'm like, what the hell is liberation? Like, I understand that it's perfectly clear that detachment is basically what you need. You need to be detached from your ambitions, detached from your ego, you know, and detached from anything that you could be attached to. But beyond that, you know, what are you trying to liberate yourself from? You know, and I think this is a thing that can really be weaponized, almost used as a type of mind control to prevent people from really delving into trying to find out what the fuck is going on, or to actually gain access to the secret space program, or actually make some sort of progress this way, because this, meditation and internal arts and developing the body in this way, it can be used in that way. And it's just like there's all this mind control that's been put out, disseminated throughout a lot of these meditation groups, that it's only about liberation. If you're thinking about trying to find out what's really going on, and using your awareness and your ability gained through internal arts training to find out, no, that's obscuring your true nature. Even if you're detached from it. And like, I'm just making a point here, like it's the same as, how could you not compare it to, because you practice meditation and qigong to build energy and to become more aware, and to be a better TCM practitioner, to be more robust, and to be more emotionally stable, and all these things, and to pursue TCM, Chinese medicine, as a profession, or to pursue healing as a profession, or to be a good martial artist, to be a good writer, to develop your body for singing, for acting. So why not why not use it for finding out which is the true conspiracy? Because obviously there's a lot of weird, wacky conspiracy things, like the earth is flat, the fucking, I don't know, the shape-shifting, maybe that might be true, shape-shifting reptilians, or there's so much crazy stuff that probably doesn't concern you, right? But there are a couple conspiracy things that, if it was true, it would be quite significant for humanity. Like, if it is true that there are, there is, advanced, technology, and we can develop our qigong and our body in a way to, to be more a better spacefaring species, to make contact with extraterrestrials, and a lot of things. And this whole area, it just seems to be completely blocked off. And people just use all these weird excuses about why it's wrong to apply one's self in that way. And please, in the comments, just if you have any objections with that, let's just go into it, and I'll explain it more clearly. But so yeah, I've been throwing out a lot of test balloons on this in these types of groups for quite a while, just to kind of like make it, just show people, like, look, you're why are you refusing to go into this? And and so I had a long conversation with a lady, actually, there was like 15 comments, right? And I only got back to 2 people. One guy was like, yeah, you're definitely headed for a mental institution, unless you live in LA or Boulders, then it's normal, And then I replied to him, I was like, well, maybe LA or Boulders is the right place for a guy like me, And then there was another lady actually, who started off by trying to tell me that, if I could develop some psychological problem, if I have this kind of objective, and blah blah blah, and she was quite elaborate with it. But I replied to her, and I actually broke it down very clearly at why this is a good reason. And this lady, I think she's one of the kind of advanced practitioners on there that's been doing it for a while, that everyone respects. And every time she said something to me, there would be like fucking 10, 11, 15 likes on her one, and not a single acknowledgement of what I had said, and I was really looking forward to read all the comments and just kind of go into it and just understand where people were psychologically at with what was going through their minds, and so I had an exchange with this lady, and I think I made the point very clear that, look, if you would actually apply the awareness and the wisdom that you have developed through internal training, if you applied that to the area of affairs that I am kind of presenting here, I think you would see very clearly that what I'm doing here is actually quite good for people, and I think by the end of the conversation, it was very hard for her to kind of wiggle around that and try to find a way to say, no, actually I'm just, I'm deluded somehow. I think it was very, very clear by the end of that that there was this shortcoming in the group there, and I was really looking forward to getting back, and I was being very, very polite. I was saying, look, even if people want to call me, want to instead of really going into the details of this with me and understanding where I'm coming from, and if it makes more sense to you to just believe that I'm suffering from some kind of psychological problem, then that's fine. I still have a great love and respect for all people, and still they're trying to find ways to kind of put me down, basically. And they had to. This is like the fifth or sixth time I've done this on this group, and often they just deleted the whole thread. I only replied to one lady, and because this has happened a few times. This morning when I was here, I was doing my astral projection training. I haven't done it for a while, but as I was sort of just drifting on the edge of, drifting on the edge of awake consciousness, I could hear this whole this whole dialogue, like, this guy's causing a mess. This is how we're gonna teach him a lesson. This is how we're gonna marginalize him. This is, and I was like, yeah, whatever. And then I just thought back, and I'm like, well, yeah, I just freaking overheard. Yeah, I actually just overheard everything. What they're talking about me. So yeah, Commander's Log, October 14th.